In the mid-1800s, this is what the area around Itasca looked like. Wide open spaces and cow pastures. There were probably more cows than people in those days, but all that was about to change.
Well, the founding of the railroad is important for any community in the United States. The railroad comes and the town booms.
The train is a symbol of the community. It's how the community started. It takes a physical presence to start a town, but it takes the people to build on it.
The depot is especially important because it becomes the focus of the community when the railroad arrives.
Early residents to Itasca, Elijah Smith and A.G. Chessman, the village's first mayor, knew the value a train line could bring to the area and were instrumental in building the first depot.
Dr. Smith had great foresight as far as he saw the importance of the railroad and donated a part of his land to ensure that they would come and put their tracks through Itasca.
And he said, I'll even go beyond that. We'll turn this railroad coming through my farm into a town.
After the land was donated for the depot, A.G. Chessman did have a construction company in Itasca at that time, and so he was the person who built this depot.
On July 17, 1873, the first train stopped at the depot. It was loaded up with milk, cream, and butter and headed to Chicago. The dairy business was about to boom, and along with it, Itasca. By the 1970s, the depot that had set Itasca in motion became too small to handle the needs of the community and was slated for demolition.
The mission of the Itasca Historical Society is to preserve the past. So it was very important for us to find a way to preserve this part of Itasca history.
In the fall of 1976, the Historical Society had a bold idea: move the depot.
To see a building raised up and put on wheels and taken down Irving Park was something that nobody had seen at that time.
The people who witnessed the actual moving said it was like a parade, and it was a big civic, happy occasion.
And so we did it with a little money and a lot of volunteer efforts.
That short trip was a giant step in preserving the past. Since its relocation, the structure has served as the Itasca Historical Depot Museum for many years.
The Itasca Historical Depot Museum has been in this building since about 1981, and for about 30 years they collected artifacts from the community, and over the years the Historical Society, along with the museum curator, were able to tell the history of Itasca to the community.
By 2009, over 13 decades had taken its toll on the depot, leaving the structure in need of a total restoration.
After working with an architect and working with historians, the project came forward that would be about $550,000 to restore this building back to what it looked like. The Itasca Park District decided to contribute $300,000 to the project, the Village of Itasca $125,000, and the local Itasca Bank and Trust offered to do a community fundraising campaign specifically to restore what this depot looked like in 1873.
We felt the project of renovating the museum was very important to the town, so we were willing to take on the idea of bringing the community together to be supporting it.
We came together with a plan and a purpose, and we all worked together to ensure that it happened.
In the fall of 2013, the restoration was complete. The artifacts were back on public display, and the Historical Depot Museum celebrated a grand opening to welcome visitors.
So some of the things you'll see when you walk around the depot that we did replicate signage that were on the building back in 1873. We removed and replaced all of the woodwork. We found where the original ticket window was in the depot. We were able to find the original bench and had it restored back to its original state. We wanted to put back the arched windows with the beautiful eyebrows that you see over the windows themselves. Because this depot, when it was first built, was the top of the line in regards to architectural design along the Milwaukee Road line.
To add to the history surrounding the depot, a 1939 Milwaukee Road rib-side caboose has also been restored.
The Itasca Park District applied for a grant through the Illinois Department of Natural Resources to ask for assistance to help relocate the caboose and restore it back to its original state.
The Milwaukee Road began building these cars in 1939, and the Itasca caboose was one of the first in service. With its unique design and distinctive orange paint, the caboose became an iconic symbol of the railroading industry.
Throughout the restoration project, we replaced all of the windows, the doors, the flooring, so that everyone will be able to enjoy and be able to know what it was like to be on a caboose on the railroad tracks.
The depot and caboose are reminders of the important role the railroad played in transforming Itasca from an isolated rural hamlet into the energetic, dynamic town we know today.
Our ultimate goal is to provide a location within the village of Itasca where people can go to learn their history.
The history of the depot is very important to me because it's the history of my family. My family has deep roots here. I've lived here my whole life, and that's where I've chosen to raise my kids as my parents chose to raise me here too.
To come into this building and watch people walking through and having the opportunity to really touch and feel history, and history that my great-great-grandfather actually was part of and built, is just a terrific feeling.
If one knows a little bit about Itasca's history, one gets enthusiastic about the community and one enriches one's life.
Imagine how exciting it would be, standing on the station platform while in the distance clouds of white smoke billowed, a whistle called out, and a steam locomotive thundered up to the depot.